Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we are doing a baby gender review website invitation. But I'm going to show you how you can do it two ways. We can do it through the website version and then just the generic if you just want to print it out. So I'm going to show you both ways. So what I do is I come into the interactive invitation suite generator, which I have. I put in here that I want a gender reveal invitation. I want to customize it. There is a few options. However, I want to customize mine. And I put in here what I want. I want baby giraffes, baby monkeys, baby teddies. I want a light yellow, a mint green. And then you put in here who the honorees are, the date, the time, and the location. And then down here you have a few options. I definitely want the soft background. I'm going to request the save the date of the countdown, Google Maps, RSVP for sure. You can put in the registry. I'm not going to. If you want a dress code, if you want like a diaper raffle card, um, and then the direct, decorative floral accents and the theme clip art. Those are I always want. So these three are always a yes no matter what, whether I'm doing a printable invitation or the website one. And then I want the RSVP card for sure. And then these two are usually optional, but I'm going to request it. If I don't use it, that's okay. And then after that, you hit generate. And then down here, it starts telling you exactly all of the prompts you're going to use in ChatGTP or Flow to create the invitation. So I use GPT. I have started using Flow, but I really like ChatGTP instead. So what you would do, you would take the first, you come into your ChatGTP, you type it in here, and that's when it starts creating your images. Isn't that just the cutest little thing? So I did that for each of these. And then here's the inner one. Here's my actual invitation. This is the background I asked for, the countdown, my RSVP, and then some of the accents and the themes. Okay. And then from there, all I do is I download them. So in order to download them, if you never use ChatGTP, you click on it. You would come over here where this little download, you're going to click that, and it downloads here. From now, we're going to hop over back into our Canva. And then what I did is I uploaded them already. But what you would do is you'd hit upload, you go to your downloads, and then you would click on your images. So we are using a website template. So we're going to start with that one first. And how you do that is you just go back here to create. You come here, it says websites, and you would select this one right here. And it opens it up. This is where we get this. And then I name mine right away so I don't forget. So what we want to do first is we want that outer invitation. So I'm just going to click on that. I'm going to center it. So where I see the pink lines, I want to just adjust that. And I want to center that the way I want it. So that cross perfectly tells me it is centered in the page. But what I want to do is right now it's all together. I want to separate the lettering so that I can do my own fonts. So how I do that is I come into here, I go into edit, see all, I want to grab that text, it's going to do its thing, and then it's highlighting the text. So I just click on what I want, and then I say grab. And it's going to remove it from that image so that I'll be free to do whatever I want. So now I can pull that out of my image and I can start playing around with however I want. I do want to remove the background, so I'll do that. And I do want to edit some of this thing. So I'm going to go back in here. I want to grab this postage stamp. So you go see all, you come here to magic grab, and you have two options. You can let it do it yourself and click, or you can hit brush. So when I hover over it, it's taking the stamp, but it's not taking this. So I want to hit brush, and it gives me the circle. And this way I can grab whatever I want. And then I just hit grab. And again, it's going to pull it away from that invitation, and I can remove that now from that. So let's work on this first. So right now it's a Malibu, and the small one is Radley. You change it to whatever you want. At this time, we can change the wording if we like. I usually like my outer one saying you've been invited. I just don't like that font. So I'm going to go to my go-to fonts. And if you're using the free Canva version, you want to hit the show filters and we want to hit free. Whenever I'm creating these for my customers, I always use the free Canva because they may not have the pro version. If you use pro version fonts, they will not be able to edit. So I always use the free versions. I come in here in handwriting, and there's always a whole bunch of nice ones. Apricots is very nice. And as you are trying to figure out what you want, you can just click on it and you can see it changes. You just figure out what you want. Alex Brush is another one. Brittany is nice. Handsome's nice. Holiday is another nice one. I like this Wisteria. I kind of like that one. That's one of my go-to ones. I think we're going to use that one today. So we're going to use the Westonia. And what it's down here, it's what it's saying is any font with this current Malibu, do we want to change it all to this? So I'm going to say yes, save myself some extra work. So it changed this one and this one. Here is my solo one. It's Radley. I'm going to come back here. I usually like to use Montserrat. So I'll click on that. And this is usually, I'm going to put it at 13 to start. And I want it bold. And again, as we're building, we can always change that. So now I can come back into my envelope. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so I can see what it looks, what's going on in here. See if I want to move anything. I think I want to get rid of this down here. So again, you would hover. This time I want to erase. So I'm going to go erase, magic eraser. Oh, I don't see it down there. Okay, so then let's go back. Let's try edit. We have to use the grab. Down here, brush. Let's see it down there. So I'm just going to do that and hit grab that way because I know it's down there. I just don't want it part of my invitation. And then I'm just going to move this to the side. You see it's gone and I'm going to delete that just like that. So now what I want to do is I want to bring this wording back in just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to put you've been invited. I can move my little stamp back here. And the reason why I remove that is as you go into the preview, here it looks good when you're on your laptop, but when you go into your mobile, sometimes this may not look properly because of the way everything is together. If I didn't see, you see how my click up here? So I still need to do some adjustments on that. So let's go back here. Oh, I click over here because I didn't move it. Let's put it back here. Now if we go into preview, see now how it's like this in my mobiles because I still need to do some adjustments. It doesn't like these little cute little animals at the bottom. So to fix that, we're going to go back into edit. I'm going to go grab all. I'm going to use the brush myself. And I'm just going to kind of do it like this. I wonder if it's going to let me do all of it. We'll try that first. If not, I can always undo it. So it's going to grab all of my cute little animals. So now I can remove that, right? I'm going to put it back exactly where it was. Line it all up. If I go back into preview, see, now it's there, but it's down a little bit. So now I still have to figure that out. So let's remove that. Let's go back in here. And let's remove our envelope completely. Just do this. Grab it. So it's going to pull it away as well. So now everything is completely off. So now if we put everything back together, So now it's back to here. If we go back into that preview mode in our mobile, everything is showing as it's supposed to be. So everything is put in its spot. It's not showing half that envelope anymore. So we know we have that page good. So let me do this. I don't know if I like, so now it's just like how you want to design it yourself. If you like it like that, I still may play around with it. I'm not too sure what I think about it. 28. Maybe bring this down. I might do it right here. So for now, I'm going to leave it like that. And then we're going on to our actual invitation. So this is the first thing the customer will see whenever they click on the link that I would share with them. And then we want, where's my backgrounds? Here. So let's see what this background looks like. So because it's on the front, we want to pull that to the back. So we're just going to go backwards. But because it's so bright, it kind of blends in with my invitation. I'm going to take the transparency and I just want to reduce that background so that you can see something's back there, but it's not as dominant and it still shows our invitation. So now we're going to create a second page and we're going to start building our invitation section. And what I do here is I just open this up a little bit because we will have a few other things. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to pull in this invitation. And we're going to do the same thing. I want to right now it's all together. I want to remove the wording so I can adjust that to however I want. So we'll start with that first. I always remove the background in case there's any white background that I don't want. You go into edit. Again, we'll grab the text first. And it's all in one box. So we'll do that and we will separate that ourselves. And we'll go grab. It's going to pull it away from that envelope or that invitation. We're going to move it all over here. So now you can see this is your invitation. If you like these, you can keep that. I just find I don't because now I have to be specific where I put my imagery. So what I could do is grab them so that I could use them as accents later if I choose to. I don't want to maybe erase them. I just want to maybe grab them and put them to the side. So I have that opportunity if I really want to use them later on. Because that's kind of cute. And is there another one I like? Grab. Let's do the brush. That's kind of cute too. I'm gonna go grab. I'm not going to get rid of the hearts. I like those. It's just those things, the lines in the middle that was dividing up our invitation. I just don't want that. So then I move that. So now I can come into here and I'm going to go erase, magic erase, and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this, and this. I'm going to keep that right now. I'm going to hit erase, and that's going to remove it from our invitation. That right there, I'm going to erase that one too. All right, and then we can close it. So there we go. So we have these if we want to use it. Now it's just all this. I'm going to put this over here for now because I need a little bit more room. So I want to separate all this. So I'm going to duplicate, so Control D. First, let's get rid of General Reveal. This on the bottom. And this one, I'm going to delete. Let's duplicate it. I'm going to do it a few times so that I have it each broken down. Because now that is done. So there's our gender. We have this. Let's duplicate this again. And we're going to remove that and all this. And then here, the only thing we have left is the date and the time. Okay. So now I have the option that I can play around and change these however I want. So again, it's in that Malibu, like the front. I want to keep my handwritten to the same font. So you want to try and keep the same font throughout your whole entire invitation. I use no more than 3 fonts when I'm doing my invitations. So I want to change this Malibu back to our, where is it? And as you start using it, you'll come up here for the ones that you've been using. There we go. And again, yes, change it all. And then this is Radley. We want to change that to our monostat. Let's change that all as well. So now it's just a matter of, let's go back and see if we put this in here. And then we can change this wording if we don't really like it. He or she, come see, help us reveal the baby. That will go there. And then the parents' names, the time and the date, and then where it's going to be held. So before I make sure it's centered, I want to make sure this is what I want. So, and this is the spacing. So you can go in here and change like your spacing how you want it, the letters or the lines, and it'll adjust. So let me move it over here so you can see it. So if we do the letter spacing, you see how it makes it wider, it puts more spaces in between each letter. And then if we do the line spacing, it's going to be between. You see how it gives you more of a gap. I'm going to lower that because I don't want it such a big gap. Okay. And then this. We're going to keep this. Let's try 15. That might be too big. So now it's just trying to figure out your fonts size that looks best. So that's at, I want these at 12. The name of the parents, because they're the guest of honor, you do want to highlight that a little bit more. So that'll be there. And now let's look at the colors. I kind of like that. I'm not too sure about this. So the font colors, as we have our invitation, when you go to your little color wheel, down here, it will give you some options of some colors we can use that's correlating with the invitation. So if we do like green, I already have it in green. This is what? This is the brown. What is that? No, that's too light. So if you don't want the color that's there, you can just go back and hit the redo and it'll bring it back to its natural color. I'm not loving this font like I thought I would. So let me come back in here and see what else I can pull. Holiday. Here's my apricot that I like. Apricots. Let me put this as a reveal. Let's see how they look with the apricots. Sometimes it'll come to me right away. Sometimes it takes me a little bit. I just, when you know, whenever you do it, you're like, that's what it is. No, I didn't want that either. Okay, so I've gone back and forth. So I'm going to stay with this Pinion script because it looks kind of nice, but I want it to be a little bit bigger because I can't bold it. So if it goes something like that. And then same thing with this. Let's lines. There we go. This is the green. Let's put this, so this, go back to the brown. Leave this as the greens. I'm going to bold this. Bold, bold. This is the brown, so we'll put this to the green as well. So it's all kind of the same flow. Oh, this is old standard. We want to change that to our Monterey. Monostrada right there. Same thing, just confirming that all my fonts now are the same. So there we go. So there would be our invitation. I think that is so cute. Now we can always put these back in now if we think we need them. Put this here. So it's kind of cute. We can keep that there if we choose. So now we have our outer invitation. We have our invitation. So if we were to put that background in here, so we can see what it looks like. Position, and then let's drop that down. Let me see what this, so to find out your transparency, you just click on there and it tells you 31. So I want to make sure my same page over here is at the same one. So it's 22, so I'm just going to type in 31. So now it's the same. So now I want to pull over my inside envelope. Okay, so I move that over here. I want to remove the background because I don't want that white. And now it's just how you want to do your layout. And it's just more or less playing around with how you want it. Do you want to go to back a little bit? Oops. There we go. Make this a little smaller so I can see. I'm going to lock that in that background because I don't want it to move as I am playing around with my invitations. So now it's centered. Okay, I had to unlock it so I can make it a little bit bigger. So what we could do next is, we have a few options, right? We pulled the RSVP and we pulled the countdown. I didn't pull the RSVP, so let's go back here. Let's pull that RSVP sticker right here. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to download it. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to upload it. Download. There. Open it up. And it's going to come right here. So let's click on that. Again, you see how this is white and this is part of our background. I want to remove that. Here, I'm going to reduce it. So I'm going to just bring in some of these borders a little bit. We want to figure out where we want to put that, right? So if we make this smaller, how does that look? Still looks like a big, we do something like that. It's a little bit more cohesive with it. So what we're going to do is, the reason why we have this is when we send this out as a website invitation, your customers will receive the link and they're going to click on here and it'll bring them to a form they can fill out so they can respond if they're going to attend your baby gender reveal. So what we do here is we want to pull the same thing. We want to pull that text because we want to make sure that we can put our font that we have been doing throughout the whole invitation. So we click on that. We're going to grab it. And then we can go in and change however we want it right here. And I want to keep each line separate. So Control D again. What we do is, first one will be kindly. Delete all this. This will be the RSVP. Oops. Delete. And this will be the last sentence. Okay. So we know this is going to be our mozzarella, like everything else. We're going to put that to, say, a 13. This is our, it's on Malibu, but we went to the Pinion script. So we're going to do that. And it's going to ask if we want to change the other one. So we're going to say yes. So let's bring this up to 18. So I'm just putting in fonts, but obviously I want to see how it's going to look like on our invitation. So we come back here, kindly, RSVP, click here. So if you make this a little bit bigger, and you can use this toggle down here to make your screen bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. So I can make sure it's all even. There we go. And again, we want to use the same color scheme. So we use the brown for that. So to do that, you click on that, hit your little wheel, come here where the plus sign is. It's going to give us the hex number where this is. Right there. I'm going to go Control C for copy. I'm going to come down here and where my kindly is, I'm going to come here. I'm going to hit on the plus. I'm going to hit Control D so it'll change that font color for me. And I want this as well. Okay, and the green is what we want here. I'll do the same thing for that. Grab that number from here, click on this, my wheel, plus Control V. So now all my colors are evenly matched. So my click here is a little bit bigger, so I might bring that down to 12. We have it right there. Bring it down here. Okay, so I'm going to remove this because it's in my way. So let's go here. We're just going to grab that. Grab. Let's use a brush. Give that to me like that. You can always put it back, but right now I just want to leave it like that. I'm going to put it over here for a minute. This way we can play around with our, bring it all down. Put it back if we really want to. Go down one more. Yes, that's a little bit better. Okay. And that line up and down, meaning showing that it is perfectly centered in there. So there's our RSVP. We will do the form for that in a minute. So let's make this smaller. So let's see how this looks. And you can always preview it right here on the preview button. You can see the mobile or this. Let's link this page to our invitation. And how you do that is you click here, where right there it says click on. You see these three dots? We're going to click on that. Where it says link, we want to scroll down and we want page 2. And we're going to hit done. And you'll also see that it is now underlined. You can keep it there. I don't, so I will just click on the underline. And this indicates that it is now linked to your invitation. Now I also do the envelope just in case they can click anywhere. So I do the same thing, 3 dots, link, there, done. So now wherever they click here or click there, it will link them to their invitation. So now let's go into preview. This is the computer, so we'll look at that one too. So first of all, they would click here, and it comes into our invitation. And then they'll click here, and it's going to bring us to our font or form. So let's do preview, and let's look at it in mobile. Here's the mobile, same thing, we click on that, and here's our invitation. Same thing, they would click here, and it'll bring them to the RSVP form. So we have our outer invitation done. We have created our invitation. Now we could also put in that cute countdown if we really want to. So let me show you how we can do that. So again, remove that background. And then what I do is I do the same thing. I would grab that text. I take this, this, because I'm going to use an actual countdown timer so that it will count down the days, the hours to that invitation. So then let's see what is on there. Anything we want to get rid of that. Get rid of all this. We go erase. Okay, so close that up. So we'll put that there. And then this is our wording up here. Make that a little bit bigger. Let's close this. Again, we want to make it to the same font that we have. So I go duplicate. I come up here. I'm going to get rid of all this. I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to get rid of the main header. And I'm going to get rid of this because the countdown timer app is going to give us those wordings anyways. I'm going to delete this, and I don't need any of this because it's going to give that to me as well. So now we're going to go into apps. Down here, we're going to type in countdown timer, and right here it pops up. We want this one right here. So the date, you want to put in your date. So it's November 22nd, 2027. So use a calendar. You just arrow over to your date. Leave the time zone. You put it in your time zone. You leave this as is. Content. You want to remove my header. You want to keep days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Here, you want to pull in the same colors that we've been using throughout our invitation. So again, how we figure that out, we could click on, we'll have to figure out if we want the green or the brown. So if we take the green, take this, we click on the plus again, we're going to Control C to copy this hex. We're going to come here for the first dot, we're going to come over there, we're going to Control V to pick color it over. We're going to do the same thing with the red. We're going to leave it like that for now, because we can always go back and change. We want the language is English. The font style for the time countdown, I always use Times New Roman. The size, I always bring it down lower because I know I want it smaller. We can always adjust it. And then we come back here, and then when we are ready, now we come back to the beginning, and we want to add our countdown design now. So we'll click on that. We'll generate it, and here it is over here. Let's close that up. We can shrink it down to however we want. And then you have some options, right? So we can take our headers and just leave it like that and put that underneath. Or we could try, depending where we want to put our lovely little calendar here, maybe right here. We can put the countdown in and shrink that down. And we can move that in there as well. So that's an option as well. So let's just make that a little bit bigger so we can see how that looks. That to look very cute. You can see it's counting down. So that's how it would be. And what happens is when I send this out, the client can change this. They just click on that, go into edit, and they can put their date depending on that. This is coming along so cute. All right, so we have our invitation, we have our RSVP, we have our countdown. Now we can create that RSVP form. So we're going to open up another page. We're going to go up to Elements, and we're going to type in Forms. Or you can come down here. There should be a form button right here. And we're looking for events. So this is the one I usually use. So I just click on the RSVP one, load this up, bring it down. Again, I want to do the best to centralize this. Make sure it's centered, both up and down. And then we can change the colors, again, based on our colors over here. Let's look at this green again. Control, come here, click on here. So we have two options, is the border and our little tab. So let's start with that. We put that there. And the same thing with this. We would do that. So that's what that looks like. And again, if you don't like that, you can always go back and see what that brown looks like. Copy, back here. So say if we're like, well, let's start with that, what that look like. Paste that there. Okay, so now let's pull in our accents. So again, like the invitation, it is all together. So we're going to click on that. We are going to remove the background. And then we edit, grab. It'll pull. If it doesn't give you anything, I always take the brush anyways, and I just select what I want. Sometimes it's quicker to do that. And I hit grab. And it's going to pull it away from the rest of those other images. I can do that. Let's do some more. Lucky. So I'm just going to continue doing this. I'm going to pause the video so that you don't have to watch it all, but that's basically I'm doing the same step. Okay, so I have grabbed what I wanted. I left those in there, plus I pulled the other one, and I pulled some of those as well. So now we're going to go back. I love this little heart thing, so I'm going to go Control C. I want to go back on my invitation, my RSVP. I'm going to pull this. I want to come here, maybe turn it a little bit. So now we're just going to add some accents to our invitation and our RSVP, just to give it a little, make it look a little prettier. Oh, I like this there because it looks like the spray is already on that side. So if we come here, we can move him right here. You can always make him a little bit bigger as well. So he's kind of cute. He can sit right there. Then if we were to go back to our invitation, what could we add to that? I don't like to put too much on there, but I do like to put some cute little accents on there. Let's take this cute little monkey. Let's start with the first envelope. How would he look over here? To maybe put in something like that. That's an option. If we were to move into the invitation, how would that look? Like that as well. Not too bad. He's actually so cute. All right. And then we have some flowers. What can we do with these cute flowers? Put them right here. We can always put there and then go towards the back. Just so that if they're there, but it's kind of hiding. I moved them because I didn't want them right beside that one. And then you can always go here to look as well. Maybe I need something over here just to balance it. So what do we have? Okay, let me pull that cute. I'm going to pull this one right here. See if that gives it to us. We'll put it on the other side of the invitation just to see what it looks like. I'm going to go copy, paste it. Go backwards. I don't think I like that. Let's remove that. Oops. Okay. Well, the giraffe might be a little too much. But let's see. If we were to put him like maybe right here or something, just so that it balances it a little bit. It's not too bad. I want to put something else here. So what do we have here that we can do? Put the bow. Right there. And then something on that side. With the monkey would look here. Right. So now, and then what we want to do while we're here, before we go preview, we want to link this to our invitation. So our invitation RSVP is on page 3. So what we're going to do, let's make this bigger. I do all of it plus this because wherever my client clicks, it's going to automatically bring them to my RSVP form. So I go kindly, and again, link. I want that page 3 done. I want to remove the underline because I don't like that myself. I'm going to do it for all 3. Underline, link, page 3. And then as well, I want to do the actual wax seal. Done. So now we can click anywhere. So now let's look at our preview. If we were to go to preview, how does that look? So there's our outer. They'd see that. They would click on the envelope. It brings them to this beautiful invitation. They would click anywhere on here. You can see the little finger pointing, and it brings them to their RSVP. And then they put their name in. Absolutely can't make it. And then they'd hit RSVP. So what we could also do that we didn't look at is if you want to change this wording, you would click on that. You come in here, it says edit. So your name. So if you don't want your name, you can put guest name. So now it's guest name. Say if if you don't like, or if you don't like those, you can definitely change them up. You'd hit add as an option. You type it in. Sorry, not make it. And then you can always delete the one that you don't like, and it brings it there. Nomination song. If you want, you can. If not, you just hit delete. And then anything else you want to add in, you can just add in additional questions. So, like multiple choice, you can always put in here number, meal option. And then here you can put chicken, vegetarian, and that could be an option as well here for you as well. So the only thing you'd have to watch is as you're adding, you just have to watch where you be moving things. So we'll come back here. So let's do a preview now in the mobile view because we want to make sure everything's there. Beautiful. Here's our invitation. Beautiful. Our RSVP, everything is still there. They can still fill everything out. Beautiful. So what happens is as people are RSVPing, the the mother of the baby reveal, who's ever putting on the shower, the baby reveal, they can come here where it says responses. They can click on it. There's no response because we haven't filled it out, but in here will show them anyone who has responded, whether or not they're attending the baby reveal. So that's an option. So looking at this, I would say this invitation is completely ready. This is the website one. I'm going to jump over to a 5x7 regular invitation to show you how we can do that one. Okay, we are back. So I have my 5x7. You come up here to upload, and all you have to do is click. So if you've already created your invitation here, we can just pull this ourselves and copy and paste it over. But if not, you would just take your invitation. You could line this up. Let's see if I just hover over it, will it take the whole thing? There it goes. So it took the whole thing. And again, you can do the same thing. I would create a second page, but here you would do your edit. Come in here, grab your text. I would click all this, grab my text. I would copy that, bring it over here to my second page. And now I can get rid of all this. I can do the edits that I need, and then I can put it back into my invitation. Okay, so I just went in, I went and copy and pasted it over here. But then you would do the same thing. You just edit it and you bring it back to your invitation. You just center that right there. I have my cross, I know it's centered. I come back down here, I delete that, and there is your invitation. Now you can always adjust it because it is a different size, wherever you want it. There. And then what you do here, you would just hit your share and you would print it. They could download it, you'd hit this, and then they would print this, bring it to any print shop, or they can print it from home, and that's how they would do that. And you can hand that to your guests if you still want to do the printable invitation. So we're going to go back to our website one, and I'm going to show you how we will send out the link. So we publish the website. Okay, here we are back here. What I'm going to do first is I want to make a copy of this. I make a copy because I want to have the original, which will be for my client. And then here I do my testing on here because if I send this out, anything I do is going to show on that RSVP. So I always want to just do a test. So I'm going to say test here. We know this is all good. First of all, I want to remove these two pages because we don't want that. So we have our outer, oh, I didn't put that background in here, so let's do that while we're thinking. Well, I thought of it. Here's our background, we do this. There we go. And again, the transparency was at 31. Beautiful, right there. I think I'm going to, so what I'm going to do, there, move my needle option. There. There we go, like this. It's going in the wording just a little bit, so I want to just, there. Make this guy a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. So, and what you can do too, say if you want your monkey on the other side, the little thing is you can click on that and you hit this flip horizontal and he flips. Yeah, see, he was one way, now he's the other way. So that's an option as well. If you wanted to move him over here. Like say if you want to do this and the teddy bear, because he has that little flush thing, you can do this, but the monkey is backwards. Let's flip him. You can do it this way. He would look like he's here now. So that's an option as well. I can see. See how that looks. I'm always going back and forth to make sure how it looks. It looks okay. All right, close. All right, so now how do we publish this? So they can send it out to the guests. So you come up here, we go publish. It's going to give you your canvas, whatever your Canva is. It's going to give you that. You're going to hit settings. You want to make sure navigation menu is off. That is what shows you page 1, page 2, page 3. We do not want that. You do want the resize on mobile on. Social media link preview, we also want that on. So you go to continue to publish. We're going to publish. And now it's going to work and it's creating that website link for you. So here it's saying your website is now live. If you view it, you're going to click on that. It brings you here. And then this is what your guests will see and that they can do their submissions. So now you get on this view your website. Here's your invitation that will show the guest. This is your link right here. This is what you're going to click. You're going to copy, and that's what you're going to either text your guest or you put it in an email. Because this is what's going to give them so they can come to this website and they can look at the invitation and RSVP. They put their name, they decide, and they hit that reply RSVP now. Because this is what they're going to get. But this is your link that you want to give your guests. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you will have an idea. If you are interested in purchasing this, I will leave the link in my description below. If you're someone who wants to get into creating invitations, I will give you the link of how you can get your hands on this invitation suit generator. And as well, I will put in a few free guides. So if you are looking to create your own um, invitations, I have a few guides for wording or fonts and pairing. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.